This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop, where you, the pit crew, are the real star of today's show. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend. I sure did. I did a little work. I did a little play. I did a little relaxing. It was a great weekend for me, and it was the kickoff to the F1 season, which always is nice for everybody who's a big racing fan. So all in all, it was a good weekend, and here we are Monday to talk about sim racing news with my good friends, my fellow sim racers, here with our only friends we can talk about our favorite hobby or sport without getting them to think we are just the biggest dorks or geeks on earth. I don't think we're dorks. I don't think we're geeks, but funny enough, when I have these conversations with the general public, that's the kind of response I get from them. So thank you for being here, allowing me to talk about the sim racing news. And what do we have going on this week? And of course, as usual, if there's anything that you think we need to talk about, you be sure to mention it in the chat. I will try to bring that story and any of the things that I bring up. If you think it needs more discussion, lend your opinion. Let us know. Is it good? Is it bad? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Or is it just kind of meh? Anyway, first story of the week. We talked about the Forza Invitational that was going on in Seattle. We knew Randy Welch, you rock. Look at that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Randy. I really, really appreciate that big donation from Randy to the show. I got to tell you, you guys are helping me upgrade things. We're doing a microwave change, a microphone, and a webcam change this week, just to keep trying to make things better and better on the show. So all that goes a long way, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, Aurélien Mallet was the winner of the big event there in Seattle. So that's the FA Racing G2 team, and they went there and had a very impressive showing on their first live event. These guys actually had a pretty big weekend. We can see some of the F4H, some of John's old teammates. I wonder if these guys knew that John Hill was old enough to be their dad. I'll be nice. Old enough to be their dad. Anyway, some of the F4H guys were there, and they did very well. And I like these kind of trophies where it's like a golden joystick. Kind of cool. He got himself an Xbox One X as well. Funny enough, I'm going to go out on a limb and say these guys probably already have Xbox One X. New microwave, yes. Thank you, guys. Oh, I love your guys' humor picking on me. Thank you. But yeah, anyway, that was the big event, and it's worth mentioning because we're starting to see some of these big names, you know, whether you're talking coming out of FAG2 Racing or Forza F4H Group. Esport days are upon us, guys. Very exciting. Next up, there's a photo competition with Porsche at Slightly Mad. And what I like about this is some of the prizes are going to actually be some of the posters from Porsche, inspired by career mode events. So you're going to win a set of exclusive posters inspired by career mode events in Project Cars 2. Submit your best Porsche DLC screenshots using the game's photo mode for a chance to win. And you can enter that competition right through the Project Cars Twitter feed. No, we need clarity. We need clarity in our cameras. Stu, I think crappy arcade games get better recognition because they sell more. Yeah, I think it's just a money issue. That's it. I think that the pyramid of racing games has the most gamey titles being at the bottom, being the most, the biggest, the most amount of games, the most amount of people, the most amount of money. And then as it gets towards the top and we get towards our favorite sims, the numbers become much smaller. And that means there's usually not quite as much hysteria around them as well. Just going to let you know about a league that's running. So this was posted at the F1 2017 Twitter feed. But if you're looking for an F1 2017 league, you want to run in a league environment in F1 2017, which I totally understand. They're going to have European and American leagues for the Xbox One. I just see a PS4 Europe, but I'm guessing that just continues on and tells you more about it. But could be fun to go do that. Could be a little less serious than, you know, we talked about that pyramid. And, you know, you're playing one down at that lower end, which could make for some fun. Take life a little more, less seriously on certain aspects and more seriously on others. Next up, big weekend over at iRacing with the VRS GT iRacing World Championships, and we actually had a nail-biter for the finish. So right here, what we're looking at is the last lap with FA Racing looking to make a move. Oops, we're past it. Hold on. And there you have it. So Pure Racing was able to hold off the win at Sebring, just edging out FA Racing G2 Logitech by just 2/100ths of a second. So quite the race that went on there in that highly competitive and big stakes in that race. You know, you're talking about, look at the list of names: Patrick Pitchler, Sebastian Job, Mitchell De Jong, Phasalis Gergis, sorry, and so on. So huge names, huge teams. I mean, look at the teams: VRS, Coanda, Core Sim Racing, Husingveld, SimCube. All of the big boys are there, and it's getting more and more cutthroat. My wife left me. Oh, everyone cry for Sean, his wife. I've never been married. Next tease out of Dakar, getting in the truck. Dakar, we should call it the truck. The truck rally. But here we are in one of the big utility vehicles, and just another teaser out of these guys, just keeping us expecting this one, that's for sure. What did Billy say? Good sport, Billy. I missed that. Graphics driver, we're gonna have to use an old Win8 750 Ti. I would think that thing can still run certain applications. And we're all talking about bacon. I love bacon. Bacon's good. GT Planet talking about the Forza Blazing Motors League season prizes. So big deal going on with Forza. Win in-game content, things like that. So they have more challenges. We have Series 1, Series 2, showing you the car and the situation that you're going to be running it in. And some big things going on at Forza. So if you're just looking for fun, looking for competition in the world of Forza, go check this out at GT Planet. You can get all the details there. And just keeping things going. Just keeping things going for all those sims. I love it. Instead of them just releasing and then kind of going on to the next one, they are really doing a great job of supporting the titles and keeping things fun. This is at Race Department. This is totally for you, Billy. Billy Strange in the house. Has a slot car track up in the Sacramento area. Billy Strange Racing has a Billy Strange Racing YouTube channel. You can check that out. But he's a big slot car guy. Here is none other than Lamb Chop Jackie Stewart playing slot cars back in the day. This is a black and white photo. What are we talking, like early mid-60s probably for this photo? Trophy on the line you see here. But I just thought that was a cool photo showing before sim racing there was slot car racing, and there they are doing it. This is the trophy cabinet of Orlane Mallet, the guy who just won that competition up in Seattle. So look at all the trophies this guy has. This guy's the real deal. This guy wins everywhere he goes. You can see that brand new one right there in the middle, the gold joystick. But that's what a Pro Sim Racer's trophy cabinet looks like nowadays, just to give you an idea where we've come. Next up, the guys at Ricmotech are packing up the van, and they're on their way to New York. So they're going apparently from Florida all the way up to New York. But if you're in the New York area and you go to the auto show, you can expect to see Ricmotech somewhere under the roof and within that great event. Graham Hill, you know, I didn't even look, you know, Jackie Stewart's got, oh yeah, he's got such that, that's all I saw when I saw this picture. And he's such a character. So, I bet these guys, look at it, you got Jackie Stewart, typical face, and then look at all of the guys, like, super seriously. I mean, they are playing to win. This is racers all the way. So So there you go. Interesting, and I haven't confirmed this, but I have seen a couple of posts regarding it. Sim Racing Observer, Jake Sperry, has an article talking about the great Hussenfeld Core Exodus has arrived. This is one of the greatest sim racing teams in all of sim racing. They had a great weekend just a weekend ago. And sure enough, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers simultaneously left the team. No announcement of where they've landed, leaving Angelo Michael as the only, or it's probably Michelle, Angelo Michelle as the only driver left on the team. So, hey, if you're a top sim racer, you're looking for a good team, you might want to send a resume to Hussenfeld right away. Article about cryptocurrencies coming to gaming. And I didn't read the article, I was a little behind, and this is a little out of my radar. But some of you might find it interesting, and you can go check it out at PC Gamer. Not 100% sure if you're talking about exchanging cryptocurrencies, like they're accepting it in transactions, if it's being given as prize, or if it's an in-game currency, maybe even for betting or things. And it probably doesn't matter because this article is so far in advance of where we'll get with it, but it gives you an idea what we could be looking at. We might have, you know, maybe that's the final destination of cryptocurrency after it runs its attempts at being a real-world currency. Should that fail, maybe it becomes the ultimate gamer currency. That would be very interesting. Can you imagine buying a wheel used from somebody with a Bitcoin or a portion of a Bitcoin? So, next up, GTA Grand Theft Auto Online players claim multiple unfair bans following the latest update. So, something about the new update, something about the detection system of banning infractions has gotten a little quick on the trigger, apparently. Now, I don't know. Are these people complaining, people who are flirting the line with cheating, with language, or whatever it would be that would cause them to get banned? Were they always getting away with it, and now they're not? Or has GTA gone too far? I think will be the big question. Only time will really tell. This is just a cool story. Just going to mention it very briefly. This is actually on local news in Vegas, as Vegas gets to unveil the Luxor's new esport arena. And they're talking about women in gaming and how women are becoming a part of the gaming scene, which had always been a male-dominated world, but no longer. The girls are coming. The women are coming. And there's really no reason. You know, you think about video gaming and what it takes, and there's no physical reason. There's no mental reason. There's no differentiation between the man and the woman that would prevent you from doing anything in the world of sim racing, all the way to the point of sim driving. You know, I've heard many things people say about women's strength, and I know women far stronger than I am, and their ability to race at the top levels. In certain circumstances, maybe you could make that argument, just like why they don't let women tennis players play against men tennis players. Video gaming, there is no physical component beyond dexterity. So, there is no reason. Anyway, apparently this girl here they're talking to, a woman, sorry, is quite good at Call of Duty and looking to turn her career into gaming, just like all of us are thinking about and wanting to do. John Hill, you need to be slapped around. Emily Jones. Had another conversation with Emily Jones. She might be on the show as soon as this week, you guys. That could be a very cool interview. Really cool girl. Very, very fast sim racer. And I'll be interested to hear how she got her start. CoinDrop.com just had a write-up on some elaborate rigs. Look at this triple R-seat. This is the same R-seat stand I have that usually will hold 3 unless they're monster size. Oh, I can't remember the name of this chair, and I used to have one. What am I thinking? Come on, Sean. Brain fartarama. Anyway, that's a Ames chair. That's about a $3,000 or $5,000 chair, depending on whether it's a reproduction or an original. But just to give you an idea, Max, I know, it's just gaming rigs. We're not even talking sim racing, I know. Here's an elaborate gaming room. Look at this. I see a Logitech G27 over here on the far, far left on a single monitor. Certainly not dedicated to the main gaming area. Here's another elaborate over the top. I love the color coordination on these rigs. Anyway, some over the top, if you're looking for some styling ideas on how to make your game room look good, these are some pretty inspirational pictures. I I love the color coordination and the classiness of all of those. You had names, Chair, as well, huh? I had one. It just went to crap. I eventually just sold it rather than redoing it. MX versus ATV All Out is early access, which starts today with a new trailer. It's almost out, and they're kicking that off with a new trailer. So we've got another one of those. We talked about our pyramid. We talked about one of those very gamey titles. It's probably going to sell rather well because, you know, moms are going to buy this for kids, you know, at GameStop. It's not going to be on that exclusive list. It's going to be on that open to anybody list, if you understand what I mean by that. So that could be pretty cool. Oh, this just, I'm not going to talk about it. Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Lewis Hamilton, he says he wished strategy was more in his hands. So any of you might have seen the Formula 1 race over the weekend. I don't want to be a spoiler alert, so I'm not going to give too many details. But it was a very exciting race. Here in America, the coverage was kind of interesting, and we could have a whole conversation on that on a different show. Maybe not here on the Pit Stop. But there was some anti-strategy or strategy, depends on which side or which team you're from. You call it strategy from one perspective, and you call it anti-strategy from the other. But it was a big weekend at Albert Park, and this is the Australian Grand Prix and the kickoff to the Formula 1 season. I watched every minute of it, and I'm just glad that racing... I'm glad it's racing season again. That makes me happy. We've talked about this in various ways. Just another article citing it and saying it a different way. This is Business Media and Marketing, and their article is Esport Explosion Offers Brands a New Frontier. And that's exactly what it is. Why are we seeing big names like DHL jumping in, getting involved? Why are we seeing huge names getting involved in sim racing? It's because it's a new frontier. You get on a NASCAR car and you're one of 43 cars in a series that's been going for 50 plus years. You know, even if you get on a Formula 1 car, you're one of, what, 18, 20 cars? How many on the grid? On the grid, and so many different teams. Right now, you jump on eSport, and you're kind of one of the first. You're a pioneer to an extent. Hey, Viking, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much, buddy. Next up, article at GT Sport talking about the next update on GT Sport, including new cars. So we have our typical silhouette. Can we make out any of these cars? This first one looks like a BMW to me. This looks like a Camaro. Maybe a Mustang. That might be a Mustang, actually. That looks like a Ford GT of sorts. What others do I know or can I make out? But new cars are coming, and we're getting that typical tease out of those guys. Just kind of, what is it? Oh, can we see? There we are. Bigger picture. This looks like a Nissan right there. That looks like some funky prototype. I can't even tell. That's a Mustang. That looks like a modded out old school Mustang to me. Anyway, new cars. That's a Jag right there. Could be an Aston. That's a Lexus if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, there we go. New cars. New cars. Red Bull X1. That's what that one is right there, I'm guessing. So that could be excited for all of the new, all the Gran Turismo fans out there. And great timing, because right now, Gran Turismo Sport Limited Edition has been discounted at $32. Who's selling it that way? I believe this is Amazon. Yeah, straight up at Amazon, 55% off. No, we're getting the good stuff. We're going to get some of that smoked Applewood smoked bacon, thick style. Thank you, guys. That was the Aston, not the Jag. They have very similar lines. GTR R35. There you go. Yes. Here's another article. Nothing new. No new news. Just another write-up saying anyone can use sim racing to take a leap into real-life racing. And in this article, they talk mainly about Rudy Van Buren and the whole world's fastest gamer going to Riyadh, going to the test for Formula 1, all that stuff. They mentioned Jan Martinborough and all of that GT Academy kind of stuff as well. But just an article that's showing the world. You know, when I see this, it's not for you and me. It's because my mom might see this when she... Well, I guess my mom's not going to be at sportgazette.com. But Anybody who has no clue about sim racing might get their first exposure through something like this and be like, what the hell are they talking about? Read the article and find out that, in fact, you can. So, apparently somebody was trying so hard to get that Seattle event. Hope it wasn't one of the gamers. I think one of the gamers would have known how to drive better. And actually, there is no correlation other than this was in Seattle. And this was sent in to me in a funny story because the way they sent it to me was, hey, perhaps sim racing could help this guy out a lot. Anyway, this guy crashed his McLaren 650S on wet roads and then turned around and blamed his summer tires on the event, not his lack of talent or taking the car over its head, or not respecting the condition in your summer tires. If you're going to blame your summer tires, then why didn't you respect the condition? Anyway, there's my Idiot of the Day award to this guy. Crashing such a beautiful car. And I think that takes it. I have some more news mixed into my end stories, and I still have a little bit more to cover, so bear with me, you guys. Last week, we just finished the Sim Racing Systems 90s DTM Revival Series. So that is one story, and Ricardo Mascarenas won the whole thing. He won it by about 24 points over George Vidal. Brandon Waters took third. Jack Dyer in fourth, and Dave Blair took fifth. Oh, I see more familiar names. I'm going to go on. Tom Dudek took sixth. Suelo Brendo in seventh. Sean Seabrand, ProSim TNT, took eighth. John Crane in ninth, and Jim Gorman took 10th. So congratulations to all those guys. At the end of the show, I'm going to be drawing a name for a winner. We met our total. We hit over 50 drivers for every race, and therefore the Simpit is giving away one random shirt to one driver who completed all 6 races. We're going to do that in a minute. Oh, I have my charts, but not my randomizers. It's going to take me a little figuring. This also is what I'm going to announce next season, which starts up this Thursday. So Thursday and Friday nights, 6 p.m. is when we race. We just had daylight savings, so everything should be back to normal again for everybody. At least we're on the same time zone, or proper time zones. But we kick things off at Spa, Thursday and Friday, 6 p.m. This is the Simpit Exos Challenge, the Lotus Exos 125T. So it is the lower horsepowered one. We are talking about some small rule changes. We are doing 1-hour races for the entire season. It's going to be a new face. It's going to be a new look. But what I've noticed over the last 3-4 seasons is it's gotten more and more serious and more fun. Therefore, we're kicking it up a whole other level. So if you want to maybe win a Simpit t-shirt, all you got to do is make one appearance every week. You don't have to run both races, just Thursday or Friday night. And you will be eligible for that. We're going to get down to the Ellis, and we have another t-shirt to give away, too. We have 2 shirts to give away today. What a coincidence. So we do have all that going on, and I hope you'll join us Wednesday night. I'll definitely be doing an Attack the Track and just trying to get comfortable with the car, show you guys what it's all about. And if you want any, you'll be able to get all the information you need to join us and run with us, and I hope you do. So, we're going to come back to the t-shirt in just a moment. Also, Aussie Stig always does a cool promo, so here we are, and you can check out what they've got going on this season for them. It's Let's Go Seat Leon TCR Racing with Aussie Stig. So, I always do his because he takes the time to make a cool promo, but ultimately, if you get over to Sim Racing Systems, you're going to see that there is just a ton of different series to run in. It's not just run with us. I'd love for you to run with us. They now have Race Room Edition to it, so a lot of racing going on at Sim Racing System. You're looking for that league environment without committing to a league. More of a point system / league. Go to Sim Racing System and check that out. Michael Clark, thank you very much, Matt. It's funny you say that. Just the other day, I was looking at his water dish thinking, you know, he probably needs a new water dish. So, you're going to get one, Max. Lionheart, they are kicking off their season. So, here we are, the live broadcast in 2 days. This is the first medical equipment kickoff. That's the title sponsor of the series of the season race at Homestead. They open it up at Homestead. That will be live on GSRC. So you're going to be able to watch it live. We'll be bringing you the results, keeping you up to speed on what's going on in the Lionheart IndyCar Series over the season. Next up, I'm not sure if you can call this news or you call this marketing or promotional, but Sim Racing Girl did another video. I thought she had already done one. Talking about the new McLaren GT3 wheel and the quick release hub that allows it to get rid of that clamshell Xbox wheel mounting method and put on the typical Fanatic quick release. So if you're into that wheel and you want to, you can go check that out at simracinggirl.com. Other cool announcement, I like this because I love those Wave Italy pedals that I tested. But Wave Italy is actually sponsoring Race Sim Studio. So as they're working on their Formula Hybrid 2018, it's being done with sponsorship, which is sort of kind of another new direction in sim racing, that maybe some of these mods will get support through sponsorship. Sure, we'll be subjected to some of their advertising on the livery, perhaps, like we see here, but I have no issue with getting a Wave Italy decorated car in the name of their studio moving forward and doing things. It was a stop action. Okay, beyond that, Formula Sim Racing, one of the biggest R-Factor leagues on Earth. They kicked off their series, and if you guys know Mitchie Hoyer of our channel, you know he runs there with the avid, chronic Zach Speed Racing team, and they take it very, very seriously. So the end of the first race, which was actually at Albert Park, doing it just like they do in the real life thing. I'm going to mess up this name, but Zernij Simonchek won the race with Michelle Alessandro in second and our very own Mitchie Hoyer finishing in third place. So not a bad run by Mitchie. I know he always wants to do better than that, but I think third place is a pretty good way to kick off the season. So that does take it to the end of the news. So let's go ahead and do a few things. I wanted to talk about the Ellis Jones. The Ellis has not left the building patron race that went on over the weekend. We had a good time this weekend racing. And let's see here. Bear with me here. And we did two different races, the Mazda race. So I'm just going to congratulate the top three. It was a really exciting finish in the Mazda race with Thomas Dudek winning the race by just a fraction of time over John Hill and Jesse Conroy as the two of them spun to the line. So let's congratulate Tom, John, and Jesse on a great job in the Miata round. And then beyond that, we moved on to the trucks, also at Charlotte. And David Clymer won the race with Tom Dudek. So there's the big winner of the day. Tom Dudek finishing first in the first race, second in the second race, and taking the day. And Joa Antonio finishing in third. So I want to thank all the patron group for coming out. I hope you guys had a good time at that race. And as promised, I'm going to be giving away a random t-shirt to anybody in the patron group. So you didn't need to be at the race. But first things first, what I have here, let me bring down my graphic. Oh, you guys didn't see my graphics for the results. That's okay, I read them off. Oh, wrong graphic once again. Let's go to center monitor. So it's going to be a little bit hard to see. Hold on. Number randomizer. There we go. There's my randomizer. So, for our SRS Series t-shirt, all you needed to do was show up each week. Thursday or Friday. Take the green flag. Take your version of the checkered flag. So if you started the race, that was good enough. And we had a total of 30 people who attended all 6 races. So one of these 30 people right now is going to win a Simpit t-shirt. I'm going to put 1 as the minimum, 30 as the max, and we are going to generate a winner right now. Number 21, and that would be Severiano Espinoza. You won the t-shirt from the Sim Racing Systems 90s DTM Revival Series with the Simpit. All you need to do, I'll try to contact you, but if you know, you go ahead and contact me, Sean, S-H-A-U-N, at thesimpit.com. Let me know your address, what size t-shirt you want sent to you, and I'll get that sent out right away. And then the other t-shirt that we're giving away today is to a random patron member. And this is in honor of the Ellis has not left the building patron race. And we have 89 total patrons at this point, which is a couple more than the page reflects. But I have a few extra patrons that do it in a different way. So, numbers 1 through 89 on our randomizer. And go to 89, 1 through 89, and generate number 77. Thomas Major. Thomas Major, you just won a Simpit t-shirt. Compliments or thanks to being part of the patron crew. So I have your email right there, and I'll get that sent out to you. But if you know or heard that you won, go ahead and email me, Sean, SHAUN at thesimpit.com. Let me know what size t-shirt you want and where to send it, and I'll get that sent out right away. So that is going to do it for our house cleaning. What's left? Mitchie Hoyer is going to be on the air a couple of times. Mitchie, if you're here, be sure to let us know what you're doing on the air and when you're doing it. We can all tune in. That'll be on the Simpit later today. I will be back tonight, 6 o'clock. So I'm calling on you guys, calling you right now. I took some time over the weekend to figure out how to set up a Wreckfest server. And as much as I've loved doing... Max. As much as I've loved doing Monday Fun Day, I think it'd be a lot more fun to do it with friends than to do it all alone. Wreckfest was absolutely one of my favorites. We got a touch of the multiplayer, but I want to do it with friends. So, tonight at 6 p.m. is going to be Monday Fun Day Wreckfest with friends. Hopefully all of you will join us for the stream. We'll be live at 6 p.m. And if you have Wreckfest and you want to get in on the action, if you're part of the Patreon group, we'll be talking about it on the Discord channel. And if you're not, but you want to get in, you just go ahead and email me, Sean, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com. In the title, write Wreckfest Fun Day, and I will send you the password to the Simpit server. And that is going to do it. I better get off the air because Max sounds like he's just not going to be quieting anytime soon. And that's a perfect excuse to end what's been a great kickoff to a week. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew. Thank you for showing up for the race over the weekend. We had a really good time, and it's just getting better and better with the Simpit, with the patron group, and everything we got going on, and sim racing in general. That's going to do it for today. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.